Again, welcome to the Daily Database Insights. And this is a continuation of the logins video. This is going to be the second part. Now, in the previous part, we understood what logins are. We walked through what authentication types we have on SQL Server. And now we also walked through the process of creating a SQL Server authenticated account. And now the next piece is going to be to create what we call an Active Directory account as well. Now, the first thing is you've already talked to the PeopleSoft developer, and they have said they need an Active Directory account. They probably don't work in that other side of the world, so they need to put in a ticket with your identity access management team so that they can go ahead and have that service account created for them. So the ticket is already in and you happen to have seen what they're doing, so you kind of know what happens, but this is exactly what happens. They would go into the Active Directory users and computers, and depending on the organizational unit, they will create that user over there, which is going to be a service account over there. So what's going to happen is they will go ahead and create a new user. In this case, probably is going to be an SVC PeopleSoft account, and the login would be svc PeopleSoft. Next, and probably it's based on your password management policy. They would decide on what happens here. A password may be set to expire after a certain period of time based on the policy, or if it's a specific application that you always want to maintain online, then you would probably set it to password never expires. So in this case, they already have decided that this application password is never going to expire, and if it has to expire, then they're going to have to review that later. So we have created the SVC PeopleSoft service account over there. And then let's say you have a user, this user by the name of let's give him Tom Dennis is gonna be your user who also works with the PeopleSoft team and is a developer, and he also gonna need to have his login also created. So let's say you have Tom Dennis. Actually, let me type his full name here. Tom Dennis account is ready, or is going to be ready in a moment here, and his account as well is going to be set to password never expires. And you have created Tom Dennis's account. And finally, you're also going to create somebody's account. Is called let's say Tia Tana, or let's say Tina Tana. So you have Tina Tana's account that is ready here as well. So this is going to be TinaT. And you have TinaT account created. So now Tina and Tom need to have access to the PeopleSoft database. So let's go ahead and grant them access. It's going to be very simple. So all we need to do is we need to create login, and this is going to be TinaT. default database is going to be this, and we are also going to need to create a user for her. For that login, for her to be able to connect. All right. So if I go ahead and create this login for Tina, and now if I refresh the security here, you're going to see that I have TinaT there, and I also have svc PeopleSoft there. Then of course I want to create a login for the service account. I can easily copy that down here and create login for service account, which is going to be svc psoft service account, and service account also needs access to that database. And remember, this is just access without really granting the privilege. I've gone ahead and created the svc PeopleSoft. And finally, I am going to create Tom Dennis's account as well. So Tom Dennis is going to be here. And there you go. I've created Tom Dennis's account. All right, so if I refresh this section here, you'll see I have Tom Dennis, I have svc PeopleSoft, and I have TinaT. How do TinaT, Tom Dennis, or whoever it is access this? So if they were on their computer, for instance, and they had logged in using TinaT, then it will be easy for them to just pop the SQL Server Management Studio and be able to connect directly. However, since they are not on their computer, let's say they are running from a workstation, and from that workstation they've been granted the access to run, as long as they run SQL Server Management Studio as that specific account, TinaT, then they will be able to have access to the SQL Server instance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate what happens here. So right click the SQL Server Management Studio, hold your shift and get access to run as a different user. Then this is going to pop up, and then I need to log in as Tina. I need to run this as TinaT. So that is going to launch in a moment. Yeah, it's launching. So it's coming up. Pretty slow, but there it is. We skip that for now. All right, so I have launched SQL Server Management Studio, running it as TinaT. If you see inside here, you'll see that the Windows authentication, and then you'll see inside here that it's running as TinaT administrative Active Directory account. If I try to connect, you can see that it's going to go into Active Directory and it's going to authenticate that account. So that is how you SQL Server manages authentication, either using Active Directory or using SQL Server authentication. Now let's say you are an administrator and you're trying to find out how TinaT is connecting. All you need to do is grab TinaT's or TinaT's credentials, and you can come over here using this XP login info, which returns information about Windows users and Windows groups. Then if you execute with that, supplying those parameters and values, it's going to quickly tell you that TinaT is actually coming in through that specific user account. And so if you know anybody who is trying to understand identity management through Active Directory, you must show them this video, and if they still have questions about it, ask them to come talk to me. I'll point them in the right direction. Thank you. And I'm going to show you the next piece, which is how to manage all this using Active Directory. So stay tuned to the next one.